right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am on a newly released e-bike from Ride1up. This is the Portola. Yes, that's exactly what it's called, the Portola. I just thought it was a funny name. I actually had to look at the speech on Google to see if I was pronouncing it right. It's a Portola, or I think it's well, I forget now. Anyways, this is their first foldable electric bike that they're coming out with. And so far so good. I've only went down the street, so I only have like half a mile on it so far. This is literally my first actual impression, like riding it, and so far so good. I did have to change it from class 2 to class 3. I'll show you guys how to do that right now when I pull over to the side, because I got to show you how the bike looks. This is honestly going to be my first time looking at it really too, because I barely just unboxed it just yesterday and I'm riding it the very next day because they wanted the review done ASAP. So let's come in here and I'll show you. And I'm a little late to work already, so we'll make this quick. So here is how the bike looks. On their website, it looks like it's black, but in person, it's like a darker brown. It's nice. It's a nice color. It looks glossy as hell. It looks like a professional paint job, like on a vehicle. It looks super nice. It does not look cheap whatsoever. You do have a rear rack back here. We got a working brake light back here, which I still have the sticker on because, like I said, I just put this thing together and I'm hurrying up. I didn't even air up the tires at all. The tires look pretty pumped up already. They looks like they go up to 35 PSI. They have a nice protector right here for the chain. So just in case your chain comes in contact. Chain length is pretty good too. It's not too short, not too long, just enough to have a little bit of a, wiggle room to go up into the gears. And then this should be where your controller's at. They have a sticker right here that says Class 2, 750. This bike comes in 3 different colors. They honestly have some very nice colors on their website. There's a nice blue color that I liked. I don't think it's actually called blue, but it looks fantastic. And this bike starts right now. They're offering $100 off. So this bike right here is only $895. That's a badass price for a foldable electric bike. That is with the 10.4 amp hour battery though. So keep in mind, if you want a slightly bigger battery, it's an extra $100, and I think you go up to a 13.4, so you get an extra 2 amp hours. Technically, I would opt, it's worth the extra $100. I want to see what battery they put in mine, which one they sent me, because I have no idea. And I can show you how this works at the same time. So the key goes all the way in, then you have to move this latch to the left. Your battery comes out, and where's the information? Okay, here we go. So I only have the 10.4 amp hour battery, so this is the $900 model, but make sure you get it now. Use my links down in the description because it is going to go up to $1,000, but it's an entry-level price right now because they're trying to promote it as much as possible. So make sure you get it in if you're really interested in a bike like this. You do have a thumb throttle, you have gear selectors, you have a headlight up here, the handlebars fold down, and of course, overall, the bike folds in half too, which I'm going to fold it up when I get to work. And then obviously the seat can go up and down, and you got a water bottle holder right here. The pedals fold in as well. And that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna fold it right here because even though foldable bikes are nice, it is a little bit of a pain to kind of move it, make sure the pedals are in the right spot and everything like that. And I swear, I gotta hurry up for work, so let's hurry up and go. And one more thing you guys gotta know is that this comes as class 2. I said that, and I gotta show you guys how to put it in class 3 mode. So you're gonna come up to this little display, and once it's on, hold the power and negative button, and you're gonna see it flashes. See C1? That's class 1. Hold it again, that's class 2. Hold it again, now you're in class 3. Now that means you can go up to 28 miles an hour, but something to keep in mind, it doesn't do, whoa, I almost fell off the bike. It doesn't do 28 miles an hour throttle only. You have to use the pedals. But the thing is, I think you can use the throttle and the pedals together, which is lovely. Because some bikes nowadays, you can't use both at the same time. You either have to pick. You're either using the throttle and it goes at 20 miles an hour, or you have to pedal. I like the fact that I can hold both because when I do get off of pedaling, I want to be like this, because when I get into a turn and I'm on a road, I want this to kick in as soon as possible, and then I'll start pedaling when I can, because going around a corner, you don't want your pedals to hit the ground, so you kind of normally stop pedaling when you're doing a turn. And long story short, it's nice to just be able to hold the throttle so the power will kick in, and then you can just pedal to get 28 miles an hour. And this bike is 750 watts, but on the display, it looks like our peak is about 900 and 93. So basically this has a peak of 1,000 watts. And this has about 65 to 70 Newton meters of torque. I think on their website it says 65, but it feels really good. It's a very light bike. I'm not exactly sure on the weight. I didn't see that information. But one thing I do like about Ride1up is that they include all the information on their website. Every single spec that you can find about the brakes, handlebars, everything. Like the lumens of the headlight, the brake light. They're very good at giving you all the information needed about the bike. Now I do know the controller is 48 volt, 20 amps. So it's not weak. It's not the biggest one, but definitely a decent amount of power for this bike, I would say. All right, so let's go through this because I gotta go left. So this is safe for me because I don't want to be next to the traffic right now. So I gotta get over. Since this is not the fastest bike, you gotta get that head start. We also have the Beyond Riders jacket on right now. It's a reflective line. The brakes feel fantastic. Definitely something I'm liking on this bike for its price point. The bike is compact and small and light, so that does help with the braking, but they definitely feel very good. They are hydraulic brakes, so not cable brakes around here. That's very, very nice. No complaints with that. Ghost pedaling feels like it starts at about, I would say 23 miles per hour roughly. Oh, and we're pulling a little bit over 1,000 watts. That's at 1,015 watts. Let's go, bike, let's go. Portola. All the video reviews are gonna come out and they're gonna be saying it's a different name than what I'm saying. And I'm gonna be like, ah, shit, I said that wrong. Oh man, it's so cool being able to review these bikes as soon as they come out. And this is cool that they're getting into the foldable market. The only thing I'm a little worried about is the battery size. Since I got the smaller battery and I unlocked this thing to class 3, I'm already down 2 battery bars and I got 3 left. I don't know how far we're gonna get. Even if you opt to get the extra 2 amp hours out of the other one and spend the extra $100, it's still not a bike to go very far on. I definitely wouldn't suggest buying this bike to go across town and be like, hey, I'm gonna go to my buddy's house and then make it home and it's like 20-mile trip all around. The only way you're gonna do that is if you keep it at like probably 15 to 20, and it's also gonna depend on your weight as well. But I'd be a little skeptical, or I would buy a secondary battery to swap out. The only bad thing about these batteries on these bikes is that they're not the slidable ones on the rails. So you can't just go on Amazon and pick up a battery like this. You would actually have to buy one from Ride1up. And I'm pretty sure the battery is probably the most expensive thing on this bike. Now let's see how fast it is coming downhill. Oh my God, we're moving. I should be saving battery right now because it's not a big battery, but 34 miles an hour, 35? What? This bike will just keep on moving. Dang. It was still putting power into the bike, unlike some other ones that just kind of completely stop. That's crazy. All right, I gotta come up here and push this really quick. Oh, I'm loving these brakes on this bike. They feel so good. I also have not adjusted anything on this bike either. I just want you guys to let you guys know that. Is all I had to do was put the handlebars on and the stem had to go on and you have to line it up to the front wheel. I didn't align any of this stuff up. I didn't even like get time to move the handlebars back and forth to get a nice like position. I just put it together as fast as I could so I can take it to work for this video review so it goes up on the 21st. And right now you can see throttle only. You can stay at about 20. We might have to do that later in the video. I'm honestly worried if we're even gonna get home or not. I know, we'll see. I think we will, but I feel like we're gonna be cutting it pretty close. I think we're gonna be on that last battery bar and I did not bring the charger. So just pray for me, guys, or just stick around to the end of the video or just skip to the end and see what happens if you don't really care about watching the whole entire video. I will say, I think I didn't get the front aligned that perfect. It looks pretty good, but I think it's slightly off, barely. I got OCD about that. Oh, and when you're using the throttle only at about 20 miles an hour, it's using about 500 watts of power. And then when you start pedaling and unlock that, you go up to about 900 to 1,000. And it turns very good. Oh, it turns way too good. These aren't using the traditional 20 by 4 inches wide. These are 20 by 3 inches wide. So they turn very sharp. Very, very sharp. They have a very high patch in the center and they taper off very heavily on the edges, if you guys can see that. And the cool thing is you have a quick release on the front. I didn't even notice that because the wheel was already installed. I didn't put that wheel on. So I guess I should have checked the tightness of that clamp, but hopefully Ride1up put it on there good enough. I'll just trust them. Like I said, this is just the fastest I've ever put a bike together and then took it out for a spin to get a video up. So I'm not a big fan of doing videos like this, but I really appreciate Ride1up, especially with the Rev 1. We made a ton of money off of that bike, and honestly, rightfully so. That was a very great bike from the company. They knocked it out of the park. That is still one of the best top performing e-bikes on the market right now if you want a moped style e-bike. But this one is working pretty good. I just still can't decide if I want electric XP or this one yet. Let's go on, man. I'm digging this seat too, guys. It's a very nice, comfortable seat. The only thing is, to make it comfortable, you have to sit very close to the handlebars for it to feel comfortable. I would like to sit a little bit farther back, but that's just the way this bike is designed. I'm very close. I'm hoping the footage looks good as well. I don't know how the GoPro's recording this. Normally I kind of do a little test footage, but I did not have time. I would have liked to seen a rise on the handlebars though. That's something that they didn't do with most e-bikes do. A lot of foldable e-bikes do that. They give like a 1-inch rise, or I think it's like a 1-inch rise. This one has nothing. So even when you flip the handlebars, like to get a position that you want, it doesn't change anything because they're completely flat. So moving them back and forth does nothing. Unlike some other ones, when they have a rise, you can move them back and forth and it gives you a different riding position. Let's see, so we can do miles. We can do the minutes we've been on the bike, so 14 minutes. And power. So there is no voltage, unfortunately. I was hoping there was. All right, so now the next thing, and I forgot to bring an extra headlight. Oh my God, I forgot. I should just keep it in my backpack from now on. I don't know how well that front headlight's gonna perform, so we're definitely gonna check out these lights and pray that they're decently good. I think our footage might be a little fuzzy at night because I just realized that's a very small light. It's nice that they put one on there, but I don't think it's gonna output a lot, so we'll just see how that works. We'll check that out in a second. Give me like 9 hours, I gotta work, and then I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 9 hours, and I've always wanted to show you guys how these helmet lights looked. Is that coming over camera pretty good? I can't turn too sideways because the camera is right here. If I turn around, you guys are gonna see it, but this is kind of how they look, and they're so badass. I highly recommend them. They're not a sponsor of the video, but ever since I got them last Christmas, I'm in love with these. But when you put them on your helmet, make sure it's the helmet you want them to be on, because these are not gonna ever come off again. I mean, you can take them off, but they're not gonna stick to your new helmet. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to do new 3M tape. But anyways, I got the bike folded up in the back. Let's go get it. All right, here is the bike. Oh, hey.
I didn't scare you.
A little bit. I wasn't expecting someone to be there. I was like, oh, Vicky's around here somewhere because I saw this. Oh, man. All right, let's get this lock off of this bike. I told you guys I was gonna fold it up. My coworker scared me. It's so funny because when you go to like a scary place and you know you're gonna get scared, you're not scared because you know what to expect. When someone scares you and you're not expecting it, it scares the crap out of you. All right, so other than that, that was funny and interesting. So the bike is not that heavy. I don't know the weight of it, but it's definitely very easy to kind of move around. Foldable bikes are very like weird to get used to. You got to make sure that the pedals aren't like in the way. You can fold up the pedals as well, but you just have to know how the bike is situated. All right, and there goes the stem. And I folded this down because it was in the way, and we're good to go. Hey.
I just heard you talking.
Yeah, Vicky scared the crap out of me. Oops. Yeah, they're not supposed to be that high. This is the highest they go.
Can you grab that for me?
I can't work off the clock, sorry.
What if I fall?
You won't fall.
Oh, hey, it's little.
Oh, I couldn't put the seat down farther. It's actually a little higher. But yeah, it's a bike perfectly for you.
Hurry, open the doors.
Oh, it's not like on.
How do you turn it on? You're supposed to talk to your thing saying how you turn it on.
Wait.
So guys, this is how you turn it on.
It's actually not turning on, but I think it's because this came undone when I folded it.
So keep in mind to make sure your wires are...
Yeah, seriously. So this might be a problem. Okay.
So,
When
I
you
am an 18-year-old female. I mean, 26-year-old female.
is this a dating website or what?
No, it's just
Oh, wait, hold
to
on.
compare.
Okay.
Open the doors. How do you do this? Just ride it like a bike?
The throttle. Why are you barely moving? You gotta use the throttle.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah. Don't run into nothing. That's on 1. It goes up to 5. You really was gonna take this around the whole store. You gonna do your sweep with that? Just.
As you can see, I cannot ride this.
Yeah, you can. You
I
put
thought
your.
I was supposed to pedal.
Oh well, you can. It's not in the right gear to pedal, though. I'll say that.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So I am Jalen signing off.
Oh my god, you're gonna plug your Instagram handle. Okay, so I'm a little nervous coming back because I don't know if we're gonna make it home. We're down 2 battery bars to our last 3, but I think we were down to 2 battery bars when we got to work. You can see my helmet lights going off as well. And kind of here's an idea of the headlight. We should have a working brake light as well. Hey, there we go. The brake light is bright. Not too sure about the headlight. We'll kind of ride it a little bit until we get on the trail where it's pitch black, and we'll see exactly like how good it is. So let me get over there really quick. Brakes? Yep, brakes work. People always get paranoid when you go to hit the crosswalk because they think you're gonna go all the way across like into the street, and I totally get it. I probably think the same thing. I'm just not a big fan of using those, but it is a different time of the day. Normally I get off at midnight. Right now it is 9 p.m., so that's why there's a lot more traffic. But I just try to ride and get out of the way of all cars, pedestrians, everything. So if that means I gotta go across some stuff, I would. But this is a busy street, so we're not gonna do that right now. Like I could go right now, but I'm not. One thing I need to mention to you guys is that my helmet is soaking wet. And no one told me. I've been off the last couple days doing like video reviews and whatnot. But funny enough is I guess there was a leak in the office, and exactly where I put my helmet at, no one even knew. Like a lot of people at work didn't know. It was leaking on top of my helmet. And what that meant is after it hit my helmet and leaked to the sides, that means the whole bottom of the foam of where it sits on my neck, it's all wet. So it doesn't smell that great either because it's like water that was leaking from the pipes like up, like top. So I got a little bit of a wet neck, or a wet head right now, I should say. All right, let's fit in between these cars. Hey, they fixed that section. Cool. I wasn't even paying attention to it when I went through it earlier. I got to go back on the footage because I don't think that was completed, because me and the other guy showed up at the same time, and I was more concerned about the guy on the other electric bike when we got to the same light. I don't even know if I kept that clip in there or not, but let me show you this headlight real quick. Let me go down a little bit more. I'm on the throttle right now, and it's only keeping us at 18 miles an hour. Just a heads up when you're down to 2 battery bars left. But that's cool. Okay, so this is the headlight. Ooh, I hit the throttle with my shoulder. So that's too high. This is too low, of course. That's about good right there, where you can get a good distance. And let me put the bike down so you guys can see how the front looks from a distance. Not that bad of a headlight for how small it is. I really do wish it was bigger, but still, we're working with $900 right now with the release of this bike, and it's gonna be $1,000 after the initial launch. But the tail light's great too. It's not as bright as I thought it was from looking at it from the top, but it still does get bright. If you really look at the ground, that is one really bright brake light. So that's cool. I really appreciate that from Ride1up, being able to add that in with $1,000. Most companies really don't give you a working brake light. As I was coming through this little twisty area, I realized that you gotta be careful on your feet, because my feet almost came in contact with the ground. So make sure you're careful when turning. Do not pedal during a turn with this bike. The pedals are pretty low. All right, let's see if I can make it across without hitting the crosswalk button. It doesn't look like it, but it looks like we have some one-wheelers over here. That's cool. Oh, a unicycle and a one-wheeler. That's what it looks like. Cool. Go, go, go. All right, we made it. Oh, this whole thing is closed. I got this whole road to myself. I'm glad I came to this side. I did not know this was all closed off. Yeah, the Fresno community for electric vehicles, for PEVs, are actually getting like better and better. What's up, man? Hey, I know them. Oh man, our battery bars went to 0. I was just turning my head and looking. Look, they're blinking. That is not good at all. I'm not even halfway back to the house and it's blinking, but we are coming uphill, so that kind of makes a little bit of sense. I was gonna say what's up to these guys really quick. Maybe let the battery rest for a second and then we'll get back to it. What's up, man? What's up? I knew it was you. Yeah, this is the new Ride1up electric bike. It's a foldable one. It comes out this weekend.
God, how much?
It's only $900.
Yeah, I'm telling
Yeah.
you.
Cool. This is now open. It's kind of hard to see, but this is dope. This is gonna be my new way to come to work now. It's just I can't show you guys. I don't have a light, but this is gonna be cool. Way faster. They definitely need to fix this because you can fall off of that. Oh shit. Guess we're testing the off-road capabilities right now. Cool. All right, I'm gonna head out this way, guys. All right, dude. All right, man. I'll see you, I don't know, hopefully on a group ride one of these days. Hey, that was pretty cool seeing some of my Fresno e-skate friends. I'm so used to this road. This is where I do my test for like the throttle response, the pedal response, and I do my braking test right here. So I'm very familiar with this road. And if I really wanted to, I could take the dirt field in the back and that will take us directly to one of the streets that's gonna take me home. So I actually might do an off-road test. We just did a little bit of a little one over there on the overpass because it wasn't all cement, but we were all bullshitting and talking, so I probably didn't keep that clip in there because we were just talking about some personal stuff. But I think I'm gonna take it off-road. Why not? Let's hope we don't get a flat. That wouldn't be fun, and especially our battery. The battery's like worrying me. All right, so you guys familiar with this little section right here? That's come through. It's gonna be sketchy because I'm not gonna be able to see too well. I guess this will put the headlight in perspective of how good it is. Oh, let me pedal so we can go a little bit faster. I really should be hurrying up to the house because I'm selling my Quest 2. I just picked up the Quest 3, the VR headset. So I probably shouldn't be messing around out here, but lately I've been running into a lot of fans and a lot of people that I know when doing these reviews. And technically this isn't like a full-blown review. This is kind of like my first impression, first ride. But you can say it's probably gonna be the best video you're gonna find for someone actually riding it instead of just dubbing some audio over a riding video. But so far, this bike is impressive. Especially after you factor in the price. That's the biggest thing. Every time I talk about these bikes, I factor in how expensive they are. Oh, that's someone's yard. Don't go that way. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Ooh, branch. Oh man. I kind of want to get out of here now. This is where people die out here. There could be some bad kids or someone doing something. Ooh. And my neck is still wet from my helmet. It's actually really chilly out here. Oh, look, that's the stadium. So they play like football games and stuff out there for the Central Grizzlies. That's pretty cool to see it lit up. Oh, okay, that was a little rough. Definitely felt that. Oh, who's in this car? What are they doing? What are they doing? They just chilling? Man, this video right now is all over the place, but I hope you guys are really enjoying this. I try to give you the best real riding out there, like something you guys are gonna do when you get this bike for the first time. I don't try to fake the funk and tell you like, go buy this bike because it makes me commission. I literally try to be transparent with you guys. And here's what I do want to say about giving you guys like a hookup on this bike. So the first initial people to get this bike are already getting $100 off. So keep that in mind. It's gonna be $900 for the smaller battery and $1,000 for the bigger battery. Then after they sell them and they do like the first week or two, it's gonna go up to $1,000, and then I believe it's gonna be $1,100 for the bigger battery, just an extra $100. I'm pretty sure that's what the pricing should stay at. But the company said we'll work with you on a coupon code so we can still keep the price of this bike closer to their initial launch, which just launched right now. So keep that in mind, that even though you're a little late if you don't buy it right now, which I would probably highly suggest, because I think my coupon code is probably only going to be like 50 bucks, and right now you're going to save 100. But please use the links down in the description. It will definitely help me. And if you're looking for an alternative to electric XP, because maybe you just don't like how their frames look, how they're like square, and this one's more rounder, and I will say the paint on this thing is way nicer and more glossy. It stands out a lot more. Overall though, it is still a small bike. You got to keep that in mind. It doesn't feel like a tank. It feels almost not as cheap as like a kid's bike, but it feels like you're riding something that's not really protecting you, if that makes sense. It just feels compact and small, which is basically really what it is. It just doesn't feel like I'm as safe being on this bike as if I was on like a Rev 1 or a Super 73, because they're more bigger and bulkier when you're riding them, so you feel a little bit more comfortable. It's kind of like driving a car and then driving like an SUV or something, you know, like the difference between that, you just feel more safer in a bigger car if you get in an accident. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. But so far we have found out that the headlight is not that bad. You might want to just throw an extra one on here, but honestly I saw it completely fine the whole time, except when I went into that guy's backyard almost. The battery on this one, the 10.4 amp hour, it's not that big. Honestly, like I'm very worried about getting home right now because my last battery bar is flashing, and I'm pretty sure I have another roughly 2 miles, maybe 2.5 miles to go. So honestly, I could probably kill this battery within, I want to say, a 12 to 13 mile trip, because my work is roughly 6 to 6.5 miles from my house, and we're doing this trip back and forth. The trip back is pretty much, I want to say it's going to be shorter actually, so we're probably doing about 12 miles in this whole thing. But man, you unlock this thing to class 3, your battery's going to drain a lot. I like the fact when I'm hitting all these potholes, how sturdy the front is. Even after going over some rough terrain and everything like that, the handlebar setup is not getting looser and looser, which has happened on some of the other e-bikes. So I really, really like that. And the clamp is actually really hard to take on and off. Like, you have to put a lot of muscle into it. I'm sure there's a way to adjust it, but the way it came, it is on there so tight. But I really appreciate that, because it doesn't feel like this bike is flimsy and gonna fall apart on me. So props to them on that. The grips feel great. The tires do make some noise, but I like the fact that they're smaller than your traditional 20x4. They're 20x3. And they're designed to go off-road and be on-road, and honestly I didn't have a problem when we rode it off-road at all. It stuck to the ground very well. The brakes for this price, hands down fantastic. 9 out of 10 for the brakes, even though I haven't done a brake test. You got a rear rack in the back, you got nice paint on here, you got suspension that you can mess with the preload, and you have a lockout on the right hand side, and the battery's removable, so if you want to charge the battery, you know, like in your house or something, you can do that. And honestly, like, I don't know if you can really complain with a bike that cost $900. Like right now, if you go to the website, go buy it right now, $900. You cannot go wrong. Please tell me if I'm tripping or not, but I really think this is a winner. And it looks like I made it home in time, which I'm gonna go a little slower because I'm gonna try to turn here. And try not to get hit by any cars. All right, we're good. For my weight of being about 170 pounds, I probably wouldn't push this bike any farther than 15 miles. Once you're past like 10 miles, if you get the smaller battery, start looking at like charging options or being close to the house. And again, if you need to change the modes from class 1 to class 3, you just hold these 2 buttons. You can do it whenever, like I'm doing it right now. And there you go. So I'm glad it's as easy as like that. So if a cop ever tries to give you anything about saying like, oh, your bike was doing this on a trail, turn it real quick and be like, no, ride it. You can see it only goes up to like 15 or 20 miles an hour. That's what I would do. But check the links down in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh my God, I didn't even take the plastic off the headlight. That might have helped a little bit. All right, later guys. You guys are true MVPs. Thanks for watching the video. I'll try to do another one of these soon on this bike, but we got a lot of bikes to review, so. And I want to see what this is really quick. Hold on. You have a little strap. What does the strap do? Is there something on this side? No. I don't know. I don't know what that does. It says connect on the back right here. I don't know. Later, guys.